In the heart of Aerwyn, where magic pulsed through the very air, a legend whispered of the Obsidian Throne, an artifact said to grant its wielder dominion over magic itself. The tale was one Kael had heard since childhood, dismissed as mere folklore. Yet the earth trembled, and the Obsidian Throne, a monolith of shimmering black stone, ascended from the depths, its power resonating throughout the land. This was no mere legend. This was reality, one that stirred a gnawing unease within me. The throne's power was too great to be left unchecked, and I knew it was my duty, my destiny, to ensure it did not fall into the wrong hands. My journey began in the bustling city of Everwood, a haven for mages and scholars alike. The air hummed with arcane energy, and whispers of the throne's emergence filled every tavern and alleyway. It was here that I encountered Lyra, a woman with eyes as sharp as the daggers she concealed within her cloak. Lyra was a rogue, a thief with a reputation that preceded her. Yet there was a flicker of curiosity in her gaze when I spoke of the throne, a hint of adventure that mirrored my own. Together we delved into the city's archives, seeking clues that might lead us to the throne's resting place. Our search led us to the dimly lit chamber of a reclusive sage, a man named Elric, known for his vast knowledge of Aerwyn's history. Elric listened intently as we explained our quest, a knowing glint in his aged eyes. The Obsidian Throne, he rasped, his voice barely a whisper. A relic of immense power, sought after by many, yet understood by few. Its location is shrouded in enigma, hidden within riddles and ancient prophecies. He produced a weathered scroll, its parchment brittle with age. This, my friends, is the key to your quest. Decipher its cryptic verses, and the path to the throne shall reveal itself. The scroll's words danced before my eyes, a tapestry of riddles and obscure references. Yet, as Lyra and I pored over the verses, a sense of purpose ignited within us. This was more than a quest for power, it was a race against those who would use the throne for their own nefarious ends. With the scroll in hand, we ventured out of Everwood, the city's vibrant energy giving way to the serenity of the whispering woods. The ancient trees seemed to bow their heads as we passed, their leaves whispering secrets carried on the wind. The scroll's first riddle spoke of a hidden path, marked by the tears of the moon. Lyra, with her keen senses, noticed a faint trail glistening in the moonlight, leading us deeper into the woods. We followed the trail until it led us to a hidden grotto, its entrance obscured by a veil of shimmering mist. As we entered the grotto, the air grew thick with magic, and the mist coalesced into spectral figures, their eyes glowing with an eerie light. These were the spirits of ancient mages, their voices echoing through the chamber. Seekers of the throne, they intoned, their words reverberating through the grotto. Prove your worthiness, and the path shall be revealed. A series of trials unfolded before us, each testing our knowledge of magic, our cunning, and our resolve. Lyra's nimble fingers disarmed traps, while my spells dispelled illusions. Together we navigated the grotto's perils, our bond deepening with each challenge overcome. Emerging from the grotto, we found ourselves at the foot of the Starfall Mountains, their peaks piercing the heavens. The scroll's next riddle spoke of a stairway to the stars, a passage guarded by celestial guardians. Our ascent was arduous, the thin air testing our endurance. Yet with each step, the view grew more breathtaking, the world below shrinking until it was but a tapestry of colours and textures. As we neared the summit, we were met by a blinding light, and a pair of winged figures materialized before us. These were the celestial guardians, their eyes blazing with celestial fire. They demanded a tribute, a sacrifice that would prove our intentions pure. It was then that Lyra stepped forward, offering a cherished locket, a memento of her past. The guardians accepted the offering, their eyes softening as they opened a path through the clouds. Beyond the clouds, a breathtaking sight awaited us. A floating island, bathed in ethereal light, hovered in the sky, its silhouette resembling a throne. This was our destination, the resting place of the Obsidian Throne. The floating island was a marvel of nature and magic, its flora shimmering with an otherworldly luminescence. A path of glowing crystals led us through a labyrinthine garden, each twist and turn revealing statues of ancient mages and mythical creatures. As we reached the island's heart, the Obsidian Throne stood before us, its sleek surface reflecting the ethereal light. It was larger than I had imagined, its presence both awe-inspiring and intimidating. Lyra and I exchanged a nervous glance. The moment of truth was upon us. We approached the throne, our footsteps echoing in the hushed silence. But as I reached out to touch the throne, a surge of energy repelled me, sending me sprawling to the ground. Lyra rushed to my side, her eyes filled with concern. "Kael, are you all right?" I nodded, my heart pounding in my chest. "Something's not right," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "The throne, it's resisting me." A deep chuckle echoed through the chamber, and a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a man, tall and gaunt, with eyes that burned with an unholy light. He wore robes adorned with arcane symbols, and a staff crackled with dark energy. "So you've come to claim the throne," he sneered, his voice dripping with malice. "Foolish mortals, you are not worthy." He introduced himself as Malachi, a sorcerer who had been studying the Obsidian Throne for centuries. He believed that the throne was his birthright, the key to unlocking his full potential. "The throne chooses its wielder," Malachi proclaimed. "It has rejected you, Kael, but it will accept me." He raised his staff, channeling dark energy towards the throne. A wave of power surged through the chamber, and the throne began to glow with a sinister light. "Stop him!" Lyra shouted, drawing her daggers. But Malachi was already too powerful. He unleashed a torrent of spells, his attacks relentless. I countered with my own magic, but I was outmatched. Lyra fought valiantly, but she was soon overwhelmed. As Malachi closed in, his eyes gleaming with triumph, a figure stepped out from behind the throne. It was a dwarf, his beard braided with silver, his axe gleaming in the ethereal light. "Not so fast, sorcerer," he boomed, his voice echoing across the island. "You'll have to go through me first." The dwarf's presence was a beacon of hope in our darkest hour. He introduced himself as Borin, a wanderer who had sensed the throne's awakening and had come to investigate. Malachi scoffed, his eyes narrowed. "Another fool who seeks the throne's power. You are no match for me, dwarf." Borin merely chuckled, his grip tightening on his axe. "We'll see about that, sorcerer." A fierce battle ensued, the clash of steel against magic echoing across the island. Borin's axe whirled with deadly precision, each strike aimed at disarming Malachi. Meanwhile, Lyra and I recovered from our injuries, our determination renewed by Borin's unexpected arrival. Together, we fought back against Malachi, our combined strength pushing him to the brink. Lyra's daggers found their mark, drawing blood from the sorcerer. I unleashed a barrage of spells, my magic surging with newfound power. Malachi, wounded and desperate, unleashed a final, devastating spell, a vortex of dark energy that threatened to consume us all. But Borin, with a roar of defiance, leaped into the vortex, his axe raised high. The island trembled as the vortex imploded, the dark energy dissipating into nothingness. When the dust settled, Malachi was gone, his staff shattered on the ground. Borin emerged from the wreckage, his beard singed, but his spirit unbroken. "That takes care of that," he said, his voice raspy but firm. He turned to us, a twinkle in his eye. "Now about that throne." Lyra and I approached the throne once more, this time with Borin at our side. As I reached out, a wave of warmth washed over me, and the throne's surface softened beneath my touch. Images flashed before my eyes, visions of Aerwyn's past, present, and future. I saw the throne's true purpose: to serve as a conduit for magic, a source of guidance for those who sought to use their powers for good. It was not a weapon to be wielded, but a responsibility to be borne. I stepped back, a newfound understanding dawning upon me. "The throne has chosen," I said, my voice filled with reverence. "But not any of us." Lyra and Borin looked at me, their expressions a mix of confusion and curiosity. "The throne is not meant to be owned," I explained. "It is a gift, a trust bestowed upon Aerwyn. We must protect it, ensure that it is never used for selfish gain." Borin, ever the pragmatist, stroked his beard thoughtfully. "So, what do we do with it then? Leave it here for the next power-hungry mage to stumble upon?" "No," I said, shaking my head. "We must find a way to safeguard it, to ensure that its power is used for the good of all." Lyra, ever the cunning one, offered a suggestion. Perhaps we could create a council, a group of trusted individuals who would oversee the throne's use. The idea resonated with me. A council comprised of mages, scholars, and leaders from across Aerwyn could provide the wisdom and guidance needed to wield the throne's power responsibly. But who would lead such a council? Borin questioned. Someone must be chosen to bear the responsibility of the throne's guardianship. We fell into a thoughtful silence, each of us pondering the question. It was Lyra who broke the silence, her gaze fixed on me. Kael, she said, her voice soft yet firm. You are the one who sought out the throne, who faced its trials. You are the one who understands its true purpose. You should be the guardian. I was taken aback by her suggestion. Me? A guardian? I had always seen myself as a scholar, a seeker of knowledge, not a leader. Yet, as I looked at Lyra and Borin, I saw a glimmer of trust in their eyes, a belief in my abilities. I accept, I said, my voice echoing with newfound resolve. I will become the guardian of the Obsidian Throne, and I will ensure that its power is used for the betterment of Aerwyn. With a shared nod, we sealed our pact. Together, we would protect the Obsidian Throne, not as individuals seeking power, but as guardians of a sacred trust. Our journey back to Everwood was filled with both triumph and trepidation. We had accomplished our quest, but we knew that our work had just begun. The creation of the council would be a monumental task, one that would require diplomacy, wisdom, and unwavering dedication. As we neared the city, a messenger on horseback intercepted us, bearing urgent news. The kingdoms of Aerwyn were on the brink of war, their alliances strained by the recent events. The emergence of the Obsidian Throne had ignited old rivalries, each kingdom vying for control of its power. Lyra cursed under her breath, her hand instinctively reaching for her daggers. It seems our work is cut out for us, she said, a grim determination in her eyes. Borin, ever the optimist, clapped a hand on my shoulder. Don't worry, lad, he said with a reassuring smile. We've faced worse odds. Together, we can bring peace to Aerwyn and ensure that the throne's power is used for good. Everwood was a city under siege, not by armies, but by fear and uncertainty. The streets were filled with anxious whispers and furtive glances, as rumours of war swirled like storm clouds on the horizon. Lyra, ever the pragmatist, suggested we split up, each using our unique skills to gather information and assess the situation. Borin agreed, his axe at the ready, eager to defend the city should the need arise. I made my way to the Mage's Guild, a towering edifice of marble and stained glass, hoping to glean insights from my fellow magic wielders. The guild's halls were abuzz with activity as mages debated the implications of the Obsidian Throne's emergence and its potential impact on the balance of power. Amidst the clamour, I sought out Master Eloin, the guild's elder sage, known for his wisdom and foresight. He listened intently as I recounted our adventures, his eyes twinkling with a mix of wonder and concern. The Obsidian Throne, he mused, stroking his long white beard. A relic of immense power, both a blessing and a curse. Its emergence has awakened old ambitions and stoked the fires of conflict. He paused, his gaze fixed on me. You bear a heavy burden, young Kael. The fate of Aerwyn rests upon your shoulders. You must tread carefully, for the path ahead is fraught with peril. I nodded, my heart heavy with the weight of his words. Eloin's warning echoed the concerns that had been gnawing at me since our return. The Obsidian Throne was not merely an artifact. It was a catalyst, a spark that could ignite a conflagration that would consume the realm. Leaving the Mage's Guild, I wandered through the city's winding streets, my mind racing with possibilities. As I passed a crowded tavern, a familiar voice caught my attention. Mark my words, a gruff voice boomed. The throne will be ours. The kingdom of Eldoria will rise again, stronger than ever before. I peered through the tavern's window, recognizing the speaker as Lord Darius, a powerful noble with a reputation for ambition and ruthlessness. He was surrounded by a group of sycophants, their faces flushed with excitement. As I listened to their conversation, a chilling realization dawned upon me. Lord Darius was not the only one who coveted the Obsidian Throne. Every kingdom, every faction, saw it as a means to an end, a tool to further their own agendas. The whispers of war had become a deafening roar, and I knew that time was running out. I had to act quickly, decisively, before the flames of conflict engulfed Aerwyn in darkness. Reuniting with Lyra and Borin, we shared our findings, a grim picture forming. The political landscape was as treacherous as the mountains we had traversed, each faction maneuvering for power, their eyes fixed on the Obsidian Throne. "We have to act fast," I said, my voice filled with urgency. "We must unite the kingdoms, show them that the throne is not a weapon, but a tool for peace and prosperity." Lyra nodded, her eyes gleaming with a cunning light. "We need a symbol, a rallying cry that will inspire hope and unity." Borin, ever the practical one, suggested a gathering, a council of representatives from each kingdom, where we could present the Obsidian Throne and its true purpose. It was a bold plan, fraught with risk, but it was our only hope of averting a war that would tear Aerwyn apart. With the support of the Mages Guild, we sent out invitations, calling for a council to be held in Everwood. The response was mixed, some kingdoms eager to participate, others hesitant, their suspicions fueled by whispers of the throne's power. As the day of the council arrived, Everwood was transformed. Banners of peace fluttered in the breeze, and the streets were filled with delegates from across the realm. Lyra and Borin stood by my side as I addressed the assembled crowd, my voice amplified by magic, echoing through the city square. "People of Aerwyn," I began, my heart pounding in my chest. "We stand at a crossroads, a moment that will determine the fate of our realm. The Obsidian Throne, a relic of immense power, has emerged from the depths, its purpose shrouded in mystery." I paused, letting the weight of my words sink in. Some see it as a weapon, a tool to conquer and dominate. But I tell you, the throne is not a weapon of war, but a beacon of hope, a source of guidance for those who seek to use their powers for good. I unveiled the Obsidian Throne, its dark surface shimmering in the sunlight. A hush fell over the crowd, their eyes fixed on the artifact. "This throne is not meant to be owned," I continued. "It is a gift, a trust bestowed upon all of Aerwyn. We must protect it, cherish it, and ensure that its power is used for the betterment of all." I announced the formation of the Council of Guardians, a body comprised of representatives from each kingdom, tasked with overseeing the use of the throne's power. "Together," I concluded, my voice ringing with conviction, "we can forge a new era of peace and prosperity for Aerwyn. Let us set aside our differences and embrace a future where magic is a force for good, a source of unity, not division." My words hung in the air, a challenge to the simmering tensions that threatened to boil over. A hush fell over the crowd, broken only by the rustling of banners and the murmurs of delegates. Then a ripple of applause began, a single clap that grew into a chorus of approval. Representatives from different kingdoms, once wary rivals, rose to their feet, their voices joining in a chorus of unity. One by one, leaders stepped forward, pledging their support for the Council of Guardians and vowing to work together for the good of Aerwyn. The air crackled with a renewed sense of hope, a belief in the possibility of a brighter future. In the days that followed, the Council of Guardians was formed, its members drawn from the wisest and most respected individuals from across the realm. Lyra, with her diplomatic skills and keen insight, was appointed as the Council's advisor, her voice a constant reminder of the importance of unity and collaboration. Borin, ever the protector, took on the role of the Council's guardian, his axe and unwavering loyalty ensuring the throne's safety from those who might seek to exploit its power. As for me, I embraced my role as the guardian of the Obsidian Throne, a position of both honor and responsibility. With the Council's guidance, I learned to harness the throne's power, not for personal gain, but to heal the land, to restore balance to the flow of magic, and to empower those who sought to use their abilities for the betterment of Aerwyn. Together, we faced challenges, both internal and external. There were those who still sought to claim the throne for themselves, who saw it as a means to absolute power. But with the Council's wisdom and Borin's strength, we thwarted their plots, ensuring that the throne remained a symbol of unity, not division. Years passed, and under the Council's stewardship, Aerwyn flourished. The kingdoms prospered, their alliances strengthened by the shared responsibility of safeguarding the Obsidian Throne. Magic flowed freely through the land, enriching the lives of all who embraced its potential. The Obsidian Throne, once a source of conflict and fear, became a symbol of hope and unity, a testament to the power of collaboration and the enduring spirit of Aerwyn. And I, Kael, the once reluctant guardian, found my true purpose, not as a wielder of power, but as a servant of the realm, forever bound to the legacy of the Obsidian Throne.